Hello and welcome to 4,000 and Counting. I'm Watty. This is Mark. And today we are going to be discussing something I never wished that I was going to have to talk about on 4,000 and Counting. Over the years of doing this podcast, we've been lucky enough to talk to some absolute beauties and, become friends with them and invite them to our charity games and to be part of things that, that we're trying to do here at 4,000 and Counting. And Alex Graham, he was one of those men. Not only is he a former podcast guest, if you cast your mind back to just before he was heading out to the OHL and he was going to go and get his shot, he was good enough to come on and shoot the shit with the boys. Now, at this point, we were still a bunch of degenerates. And this kid was the up and coming bee's knees, man. And he come on and he talked about hockey and he talked about his passion. And he talked about, like how he was training off ice and trying to maybe inspire some of the other younger guys to give these things a go. He also traveled down from Sheffield last year to partake in our charity game, which for a 19-year-old lad to travel from one end of the country to the other just to help out on our charity push was kind of unheard of, actually, for me, having run these events. So that meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to like the fans that come down, and we even had fans come down from Sheffield and things on the back of like boys like him and Bones and Chaz and just like the boys that come down and supported it. Now, obviously, the reason we're talking about is with Alex, as he sadly passed away at the weekend, aged 20 years old. Sheffield Steelers released a statement on Monday, and yeah, just mind-boggling. I think Jamie McElroy said it best. The kid was a generational talent. We don't have many 20-year-old Alex Grahams in this country, if any at all. So a generational talent was actually probably the best way I've seen him described by anyone out there. Don't get me wrong. He was talented. He was good. He was this and he was that. But actually, for his generation, he was the guy. He was a kid. And it still doesn't really feel very real right now. It's a bit like surreal. I've done these before. I've been unfortunate enough since we've been doing this podcast. I've had Natty Rose, Brent Pope, Andre Pyatt, Jeremy Domish, who else? Marek Choninsky. I think I said his name right. Forgive me if I didn't. None of them felt good to announce, but something a little bit different about a 20-year-old lad who was just, I don't know, he had the world at his feet, and there's no doubt about it, he was about to go fucking rip the Elite League a new one, in my personal opinion. And I was really excited to see what this year had in store for him, and to see if he could be getting his way towards that GB call up for the senior team to be maybe going to play against some of the top Pool A nation players in the entire world. And quite rightly so, he should have been there or thereabouts, because his talent is certainly like right at the very best that we've got. Mark, obviously you actually let me know what was your initial thoughts. Obviously it's sickening to the stomach, but
honestly,
I thought you were winding me up.
I thought it was a wind up online. I honestly did. It's still hard to believe. I know it's happened. It's awful. And like you said, Mac worded it perfectly. Generational talent. We've spoke so highly of him on our podcast. Even when I was behind the scenes when he did the Alex Graham stuff, contact with him, he would always message back. He was always willing to help. The charity game, like you said, a 19-year-old lad at the time to come down and represent this jersey is a huge honor to have. It's a huge honor. I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. A 20-year-old boy with a whole future ahead of him in hockey. He was one of the brightest talents that I can remember in my time of following hockey. I don't know. It hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It does.
sickening.
I can't claim to be a big friend. I've only spoke with him in communications away from, on online and stuff. But he's always been a professional. He's always been kind, and he was willing enough to come down for the charity game. And raise money for a good cause, and
Yeah, he's
rest in peace.
he, he was an absolute beauty, mate. Like, obviously, we got a good relationship with the Steel Dogs and stuff like that. And with me living in Basingstoke, that meant they were down here 3 times a year. I was checking out all the games, but when the dogs came into town, sometimes I get there, when the bus gets there, just go shoot the shit with the boys. I remember being out there last year, right? And they got the game of 2 touch going. And I can't remember who it was, but someone threw like a fucking jelly baby. And it hit Alex right in the face. He run across the road, man, and rugby tackled this kid into the side of the building, right? Just as he did that, boom! Woody walks out with his like clipboard and his coffee about to do like the pregame. So, what are you boys doing? And that's when I realized, like, mate, so strong. Just a big mutant strength. Like, kid was flying. And if anyone has ever been to like Bainstoke Ice Rink, it's like hard metal fucking outside of that building. You don't want to be getting shoved in there by Alex. But I thought on the ice there was more from that of Alex last year as well. And that's how it allowed him to put 80 points up in 36 games. Like, he was physical, he's big, strong, could score. And I mean, you just have to look at the outpouring love from every single guy that's ever played with him. The pictures that have been shared, Kieran Brown, Liam Kirk, Cole Shudra, like from that kind of era, and then like all the Steel Dogs boys and owners and stuff now. Obviously, it's going to be very hard for guys like Brahma, Tomo, and everyone from within that Steel Dogs organization. So we're thinking of everyone there. And then obviously Alex for the last 3 years has been up and down there with the Steelers as well. So there was a big lot of love from the Sheffield Steelers former players. I saw lots of tweets and posts and things from those guys and the Steelers organization sharing those. And every single one was like, well, good friend and great teammate. And that should be the thing that people remember. Like, obviously he had his shit with GB and some people came out and were giving him nonsense. Did you notice not one of the fucking boys came out and said shit?
Yeah.
Not one. None of that. They were like, what? You've just sent our best player home. What's going on right now? Like, you've literally sent our best player home. And all the boys were gutted. Like, and you look, Kieran Brown, the picture he shared, it was him and Alex in their GB unis celebrating a goal, and it's awesome. And there's a really, really, I guess now it's like a poignant photograph, and it's Alex kneeled down in Sheffield with Robert Dowd stood over on top of him, and it's just such a good picture. And it was always a good picture from the start, but like now it just, I don't know, it's really eerie. And yeah, I can't explain. Like, there's just certain things.
Was that the proposal one with Connolly?
It might have been
Was it
Connolly.
that picture? Yeah.
Was it Connolly?
Yeah. I think that's the one. If we saw the same one, yeah.
Sorry, flies around here. Yeah, just there's been like some other good ones. It was like all the Brits sitting in the locker room having a pint after the game. Just love that sort of shit. And obviously all the Steel Dogs boys sharing stuff. Brahma shared a video yesterday that made me laugh. It was them two topless chasing each other around Ice Sheffield, like slapping each other on the back. And like, that was, Tuesday fun. And I think, I don't know. I don't even really know what to say, mate. I'm still trying to like process it. It never gets easier doing one of these things on here, but this one's especially hard. And I don't know. What I will say, moving away from that, if you're one of those fucking dickheads that keep commenting about the vaccine on our post, shit, I'll punch you in the throat if I see you in person. Keep that shit away from our page. Show Alex and his family some respect.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, fuck around and find out. It's up to you. I don't play internet games. Trust me, if you post that on there and I see you, I will throat punch you. And that's a promise. So keep that shit away from Alex's family. Like, the fact that we even have to say that, like, just have some respect.
Exactly.
Like seriously have some respect. And not only on our page, I saw Faye Andrews has had to talk about it. I saw Banners on the Wall have had to talk about it. I saw EIHL Sit have had to talk about it. Like,
Sick.
Sick, like absolutely sick. It's disgusting, and you can take your opinions and keep them to yourself. We don't want any part of that, and none of the UK hockey or worldwide hockey. Shout out worldwide hockey. Actually, this has been. I think I texted you yesterday. Like I pretty much seen this shared or a story posted about it from all walks of the world, whether it was Down Under, the New York Times, whether it was the Athletic, the Hockey News. Every time I clicked on something, it was just Alex's face there. And he's not the only one to have lost his life this week. I think the lad's name's George Savin, played in the VHL 5 games. And I can't remember the other kid's name. 17-year-old Brian something, I want to say. I'll try it again. U18 player in Canada, AAA. 3 lads in the space of 24 hours. It's wild. And that's obviously helping these conspiracy theorists come out of the woodwork. It's just 3 unrelated incidents that just happened. Just
in
happened
3 different areas of the world.
3 different areas of the world just so happen to happen in a 24 to 48 hour period. Like, you can leave your conspiracy theories at the door.
Yeah, keep them to yourself. Just show some respect to those that have lost loved ones.
Sorry, this is taking. You can take over. This is taking a bit. I'm raging.
Yeah,
now. I'm raging now. Sorry.
There's no place for it. You know, when do we have to lose respect for humans? This is a young lad. It doesn't matter who it is. You don't start popping this stuff out. You wouldn't like it if it was on any of your loved ones. Just keep it to yourself. You don't need to post it online. Stop trying to be the center of attention. Just post your respects, or just shut up, please.
Or just bypass it.
Yeah,
because like a lot of these posts that I'm seeing are from nobody that really follows us, and they've just jumped on. Like, we were getting tagged in a YouTube video yesterday. DBX or DXB Media or something. It's never shared an ice hockey video in his life. All of a sudden, there's this tribute video to Alex Graham and links to this and links to that. He's posting it all over the place. Like, no one's even heard of this guy. Like, clickbaiting the shit out of stuff with the death of our friend, and you think we're just going to allow you to post that on our pages? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
And you know, we have some morals here. Watty and I spoke, and it was a no-brainer between us. As you all know now, we monetize from YouTube. But you know what? With Alex Graham, sad passing, anything that we do to show respect and tribute to him, we're closing off the monetize, and we've got no interest in gaining the likes. We've got no interest in getting subscribers. This is
not what this is about.
This isn't what this is about. We're here to pay our respects.
And obviously, we want to send our love to his mum and dad and Abby as well. It's, I don't know, it's heartbreaking. As a parent, it's literally your worst nightmare written down. And for it to come into like fruition like this is, I don't know, it's fucking sickening. So definitely thinking of them. I'm thinking of everybody that's been affected by it. So obviously the DMs are open. We've always notoriously dealt with all this kind of stuff the way the best that we can, and with that means the DMs are open. I've spoke to a lot of players in the last, I don't know, 48 hours here, from, you know, the current Steel Dogs who are right there now, from guys that I used to play with, captains and competitors and people that you're all very familiar with. I'm not going to go into names or anything like that, who've just like reached out and shown love and confusion and sadness and everything from in between. It's a truly heartbreaking situation for me. I think I said this to my missus yesterday. So arguably he was the future of Team GB for the next 14 or 15 years.
Yeah.
So from a selfish hockey point of view, as a hockey nation, this is like brutal for us as a nation. obviously hockey's irrelevant, right? I'm just
Yeah.
saying, so don't anyone like take what I'm saying the wrong way. We are a hockey podcast, obviously, so we're going to talk a little bit of the hockey side of things, because what we can't do is forget what a talent that boy actually is. And
Yeah.
for me, the biggest thing I was looking forward to was him fucking shoving it up the hoop of all the naysayers. Because I've watched this kid since he was this height, coming from Bradford and Sheffield. I seen him as a junior.
He played
Like,
like a man since he was a kid.
yeah, he was a good player, and he was progressing so nicely on, and he was so ready to take that next step. I think he kind of dominated last year at that national level and really showed what he was all about, and showed sample size in the elite league. I think he chipped in 5 or 6 points in 15 games last year, so that's a sample size. And I saw an interview from I want to say it's a Sheffield Star from maybe back in March or start of April, whenever they were talking about Alex going to the Steelers, and he was confident and he was going out to aim to get 10 plus goals in his first like full season. And I was like, yeah, that kid's got no problem going to do that.
Yeah.
Literally no problem. When I read that interview, I thought it was a bit. I was like, he's going to score more than that. Like, he really is going to score more than that. And I just can't believe we're not going to get to see him do it. We are just going to move on from that. So obviously we're supposed to have the charity. Well, we do have the charity game Saturday, the 5th of August. And as you know, Alex playing our charity games, going to be involved in future events and stuff like that. We've taken the decision to retire the number 21 jersey. That will no longer be available for any players. That's going to be left to Alex. That will be his jersey forever for 4,000 and counting. I haven't spoke to Ali yet, but I will be speaking to Ali. We are going to be putting a patch on the jerseys for the 4,000 counting charity game, just a number 21. Nothing crazy, but just a little token of our appreciation of Alex. And we are also going to be putting a book of remembrance out there for the boys or any fans as well. If you've got any cool Alex Graham memories, you're going to be able to write them down in there, and we'll make sure that makes its way to his family. I'm sure there's a lot of guys I know from the pictures from some of the boys in the charity game, just from their social medias. They were all talking about Alex and stuff like that, so they've probably got some good stories, and hopefully, some happy memories for his family to read about in the future when the time comes. But it's just a truly tragic situation.
Nothing else I can really add, except I just want to repeat, if there's anyone affected by this, our DMs are always open, whether that's the 4,000 and counting, whether that's what his private page or my
Yeah,
private
yeah, yeah.
page. You just feel free to speak to us. We'll be there.
All right, guys. Hopefully we won't be doing this again anytime soon. And stay healthy out there and look after yourselves. And please show your Alex's family and girlfriend, everybody, respect. And whether that be just staying in your lane and not messaging or whatever, that's fine. Like, that's enough. And shout out to all the people who have been calling for the respect factor, because I know there's been a lot of you that are disgusted as much as we are by the speculation and by the bullshit. So we appreciate these people that are going to bat for Alex and his family as well. But yeah, just rest in peace, Alex.
Rest in peace.